Welcome back to Newsmaker Live, and thank you for staying tuned to this program. Here with us this evening, it is my pleasure again to have Police Commissioner Vernon Francois. He was appointed as of May 1st this year, and we assume that he'll be in this position for a very long time. Some changes have been seen. As you said, boots on the street, and you see the police presence a little bit more. I've not had a reason to call the police in a little while, so I don't know if the response time has decreased, but at least you can see the police officers on the street. And just before we go to break, we were talking about your family and taking the news that you have become police commissioner. You were acting commissioner while your father was still alive. Do you think that this is something that he would look forward to seeing you being almost coronated? You're not a king, but you're the top cop. I mean, being appointed as commissioner.
Yeah, well, most definitely. I think I would have been, a happier man if he was still alive to have seen this, to be part of this occasion. But I think, suppose. Life has its way of dealing with issues like that, so I'm happy that he was around when I was first appointed as acting commissioner of police, and he was very happy for me, and I had an opportunity really to, during his illness or what have you, to spend a good bit of time with him, and I think he died a happy man, really happy, satisfied man.
Well, you were almost there. It's like Moses leading the children to the promised land, just not crossing in, and at least he saw you become acting commissioner, and knowing or having that sense that you would have moved over to becoming commissioner, the acting title being removed from you. Now, in addition to your appointment, there were a number of other officers who were elevated. Errol Alexander, he was elevated to deputy police commissioner. He was acting in that capacity before. Also Francis Henry, from, was it a superintendent to an ACP, assistant commissioner of police, and also Mr. Eugene, his first name just slips.
Joseph Eugene.
Joseph Eugene. He was also elevated to the rank of assistant commissioner as well.
Yes.
So congratulations to them as well. I don't know if I missed out any of the top brass that was promoted.
Yeah, that's it for the moment. They would have acted in the post for, just like me, for around 2 years as assistant commissioners. Well, Mr. Alexander would have been acting deputy commissioner for practically around 2 years, and Ms. Henry and Mr. Eugene would have been acting assistant commissioners of police for around that same time. There are also some officers at the lower level who also acted for quite a while, superintendents and assistant superintendents. I know the process is in train in terms of dealing with their appointments, and I'm really looking forward to it, because what it will do really, it will kind of provide a greater degree of stability in the upper ranks of the force, and it will give officers at the lower level an opportunity to move up also as we, confirm these appointments. So that's something that the next stage we are looking forward to happening, and also that will obviously create some vacancies in the force, which we are hoping that government will be kind enough to permit us to fill in a short order.
Yeah, and this is one of the issues that you had before, that it would take so long for appointments to be made or people to be promoted within the ranks. And what you have instituted as part of this is the Commissioner's Parade, which had been something that was sporadic at best in the past, but now every year, at least once a year, you have.
No, well, it's every quarter at the moment. We have a Commissioner of Police parade every quarter, and what it also does to us is provides us with an opportunity to reward the officers for good work, because there's an award component to it. Also, it gives police officers a chance to socialize with each other. More often than not, a police officer who's working in Castries may not get a chance to see much of an officer in Vieux-Fort, so that provides an opportunity for them to socialize, and it helps also in the area of drills, because obviously we are a paramilitary organization, so drills has a degree of importance, so I suppose that provides an opportunity. So it's really a win-win situation for us, really, for us to do the Commissioner of Police parade, and that's something that I think we propose to continue.
Yeah, on the line of awards, of course you award officers for good behavior, but still you get the complaints from the public of misbehavior by police officers. Now that you are Commissioner of Police and you don't have to worry about, you know, not getting the disappointment, not that you had been worrying. What do you propose to do with officers about whom you get reports a lot of the time, that, you know, there's just so many complaints about, you know, certain individuals involved in sometimes illicit activity?
I mean, we have to work within the boundaries of the law in terms of dealing with them at the moment, and I think what is provided for, if it's a criminal behavior, for us to deal with it criminally. And we've had a few very recent cases where police officers were arrested and charged for criminal matters. The matters are before the court at the moment. So what is provided for in these cases, these officers are suspended pending the outcome of the cases. There was actually one case recently where an officer was convicted for possession of firearm, and I have gone through the process of dismissing him, you know, as a result of his conviction. So, and I don't hesitate at all if I have to dismiss police officers, because I keep warning them that, you know, we cannot work to the discredit of the organization, and they have to ensure that, you know, that, I mean, you can deal with a mistake, but if something is a criminal act or action against our disciplinary code, we also have to deal with it, because we have to balance reward with punishment. And for us to be able to build a professional organization, we should not come across as if we are tolerating bad behavior on the part of the police officers. But
your authority extends up to a certain point, and some people might perceive that as, you know, somewhat hypocritical, that the lower ranks can be disciplined, but then when it comes to the higher ranks, it takes so long and such a tedious process if a higher ranked officer gets involved in some trouble.
Well, I have to work with what is within my power to do. I have expressed my preference for the Commissioner of Police. Whoever is the Commissioner of Police should be given authority to exercise disciplinary control over every single police officer. That is my personal preference. But at the moment, what is provided for in the Constitution is something different, which I obviously have to work with. Also, another thing I would love to see in St. Lucia is a process of re-enlistment, where police officers are given a contract for a period of time. So maybe you have a contract for 5 years, and at the end of that period, then through an evaluation process, the commissioner will determine whether you should be re-enlisted or not in the police department. And I think that will help a lot, because some police officers depend on the issue of security of tenure, that they believe that when they join the police force that they have a job for life. And I think we need to change that mindset. We need to make the police officers know that they have to earn their stay in the police department. And I think that the re-enlistment proposal, I think, is something that should work well for us.
Is it not a good time to introduce this into law, given the fact that the Home Affairs Minister right now is the former Legal Affairs Minister, Philip Lacobinier? How much dialogue have you had with him with respect to those two ideas, the re-enlistment and also the disciplinary issue by the Commissioner?
Well, it is opportune for us now, because we have a committee within the police department to look at a review of the Police Act. As you're aware, the Governor General, during the throne speech, he spoke about legislative changes, and one we are really looking forward towards is the Police Act. And I've had extensive discussion with the minister, and I must say that he has given myself and the police department tremendous support. I mean, the government of St. Lucia generally, they've given us tremendous support. I know we are dealing with constraints as it relates to resources on St. Lucia, but I think they have supported us in a very, very big way. Having said that, I can also say the same about the previous administration. I think they too were committed towards helping the police department. But one of the things that the Prime Minister and the Minister have insisted that we have in place, hopefully by year end, is a new Police Act. So that will provide an opportunity for us to, you know, factor these things into any proposed Police Act.
Now, when we come back, we'll talk about whether you have heard those things before and how long it will take to actually be enacted. So stay with us. We'll take a break right now on Newsmaker Live. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion with Police Commissioner Vernon Francois. Stay tuned.